Welcome to another video. My name is Amsterdam Comic Geek, aka Michael Minnebo. I'm a Dutch journalist and I write about pop culture and comics. And today is March the 12th, Tuesday, March the 12th, and I wanted to share with you my comic book haul of the day. Today I went to the comic book store, Henk, that's in downtown Amsterdam, and I wanted to check out a couple of True Believers of the series True Believer, because I always watch the Sawyer's Family Review, and he picks up comic books for his kids, and I always like to watch what he's buying on Wednesdays, and he always buys the True Believers, which are reprints of famous Marvel comics for $1 each, and they always tie in with something that's going on in Marvel. Now they were reprinting Miss Marvel, aka Captain Marvel, because the movie came out with Brie Larson. If you haven't seen it, check it out. The movie is pretty good. Especially Sam Jackson is wonderful in this one. And so they reprinted a couple of Captain Marvel comics. And I heard from the store clerk that in a couple of weeks they're going to reprint a couple of Spider-Man comics. So I'm looking forward to that. In the Netherlands they're a little bit more expensive than in America. I think I buy them for €1.50, although I think the dollar and the euro are kind of a tie, so they're kind of the same at the moment, exchange-wise. But you know, you buy them in the comic book store and have to fly them over, so it's a little bit more expensive over here. What I wanted to buy was actually the Avengers Special number 10, in which Miss Marvel and Rogue are fighting, and Rogue takes away Captain Marvel's powers, Miss Marvel's powers. That one was sold out, so they put it on back order for me, so I bought this one, Miss Marvel number 1, with a great cover. I think the cover is great. Miss Marvel and J. Jonah Jameson and Peter Parker and MJ, Mary Jane Watson. And it's a great classic cover with the Scorpion, and also a big mistake coloring wise. In old Spider-Man comics, sometimes they give Peter Parker blue eyes, which is wrong, of course, because his eyes are hazel brown and MJ has green eyes. But it happens a lot when you look at the coloring. This is a story by Gary Conway, a classic writer, and John Buscema and Joe Sina did the embellishment, the inking. John Buscema is a classic artist. He died years ago, but he's one of the legends of Marvel Legends. Of course, there's a lot of advertisements for the new movie in it. This looks wonderful though. And she's fighting a Spider-Man villain in her first outing. That's interesting. Also, commercial advertisements for the new Captain Marvel comic book series. Higher, Further and Faster. I haven't read those yet, but Comics and Diversity, or Comics Matter, that's what the channel is called nowadays, isn't really a big fan, if I can believe his vlogs. So I'm not really sure if I'm gonna check those out. But this is classic Miss Marvel. Look at that, at her outfit. You can't get away with that anymore, because all the feminists will burn your books if you dress your characters up like this. So we went from this in the 1970s, I think. We went from this outfit to this. Which I'm fine, you know, that's fine with me. I don't care. It looks great nonetheless, but I don't mind these outfits either, so. A lot of Captain Marvel stuff in here. And Miss Marvel. Current Kamala Khan. It's called Miss Marvel. So this looks like a good read. I haven't read it yet, but I like it. I like the fact that Mary Jane Watson is having a part in this story, and also the Bugle staff. I think she was working for the Bugle at the time, Miss Marvel, Carol Danvers. So that makes sense. Anyway, have you guys seen the movie yet? Because I'm curious what you think about it. There's also another Captain Marvel one I bought, which is originally was an Avengers comic. Avengers, I mean. Absorbing Man Lives. And this is drawn by John Byrne. No, none other than John Byrne. And Klaus Janson is the inker, and David Michelini is the writer. This is classic stuff. Look at this. It's wonderful. I'm a big fan of John Byrne's Fantastic Four run. I've got all of those collected in my closet, in my comic book shelf, and I think he was a wonderful artist. Nowadays I haven't seen his Star Trek comics yet, but they don't really appeal to me. Again, a lot of Captain Marvel, of course. This always cracks me up, how Iron Man can fit his armor in that case. I hope in one of the movies they will explain that. Anyone who can pull it off, it's Robert Downey Jr. This looks great. Classic Marvel stuff. And that's why it's called True Believers, of course. These Fantastic Four comics, True Believers Fantastic Four comics, came out a couple of months ago because they rebooted the series with the terrible writer Dan Slott and wonderful artist Sarah Pichelli. But I'm not a big fan of Dan Slott. I think he ruined Spider-Man for 8 years. So if you're a Fantastic Four fan, I really feel sorry for you that you're stuck with such a writer. Anyway, this is a classic story, The Wedding of Sue and Reed, featuring the world's most colossal collection of costumed characters crazily cavorting and capering in continual combat. This is the big one. This must be a Stan Lee caption. But it looks good though. Stan Lee, Jack Kirby. Originally this was Fantastic Four Annual number 3. It's too bad they don't give the original dates of the comics. This kind of sucks, but this looks great though. Fantastic Four number 1. I think they reprinted this one. Let's look inside. Cool. Of course there is advertisements for Fantastic Four. Oh look, here's apparently the John Byrne issues of Fantastic Four is being reprinted in an omnibus format. That's great. He really revived, I think, Marvel's first family in the 1980s. Byrne was notorious for that, I guess. He reanimated Superman for DC Comics with Man of Steel, a miniseries, and before that he did a great run on X-Men and the Fantastic Four. This looks great. And the other one I bought was also a True Believers Fantastic Four Marvel Knights. Apparently there's an imprint of Marvel Knights coming out. Celebrate the 20th anniversary of Marvel Knights with these groundbreaking collections. So that was the reason they reprinted this one. I hope you can see there's a little bit of the lights reflecting in the pages. The artist is Rick Buckler, who also did a couple of great issues of Spider-Man. Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man. And Roy Thomas is the writer of this one. Cool. Look at that Hulk. It's good stuff. Jessica Jones. I've never read those. I saw the Netflix series. I thought the first season was great. Second one was not that great. But the best Netflix series anyway is Daredevil. So another advertisement for Marvel Knights. This is Joe Smith and Mac and Tomology by Joe Quesada, right? I think I read this one back in the day. Look at this picture. Quesada is a really good artist. It's very energetic, bit cartoony, but it's still great stuff. Anyway, are you guys fan of the True Believer series? Do you guys go to the comic book store every Wednesday to pick them up? Because I'm contemplating doing that every week, although they're not coming out every week, I heard. So I have to see how I'll do that in the future. I'm gonna pick up the Miss Marvel, of course, the fight between Miss Marvel and Rogue. So I'm looking forward to that. Anyway, this was my haul for today. Let's see if I can get a clear picture. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys at the next one. Cheers.